We're gonna unravel the impact of the groundbreaking Supreme Court ruling that struck down President Biden's student loan forgiveness plan. What does this ruling mean for the US economy? Will it trigger a ripple effect with far-reaching consequences? And how does it tie into recession fears on the horizon? Join us as we uncover the answers and shed light on the potential implications of the Supreme Court's decision against the student loan forgiveness. The Supreme Court's decision and borrowers' disappointment. The recent Supreme Court ruling against President Biden's student loan forgiveness plan has left many borrowers disappointed. They had been hopeful that a significant portion of their student debt, potentially up to $20,000, would be erased. However, the court's decision struck down the proposed plan, dashing the expectation of borrowers who were counting on relief from their student loan burdens. The ruling against the student loan forgiveness plan means that borrowers will continue to bear the weight of their student debt. It's important to note that this decision does not alter the financial situation of borrowers who had already incurred substantial debt. They will still be responsible for repaying their loans, and the court's decision does not provide any immediate relief in terms of debt reduction. One of the potential benefits of the student loan forgiveness would have been an increase in the standard of living for millions of households. With debt payment erased, borrowers would have had more disposable income, which could have been used to cover other expenses or contribute to their overall financial well-being. The Supreme Court ruling, however, eliminates this possibility, leaving borrowers without the anticipated boost to their standard of living. Assessing the impact on the US economy. Economists have examined the potential consequences of the Supreme Court ruling on the overall US economy. Despite the disappointment felt by borrowers, they generally agree that the ruling is unlikely to have a substantial impact. Mark Zandi, the chief economist of Moody's Analytics, goes so far as to suggest that the decision should have no meaningful impact on the economy. One of the reasons for economist skepticism regarding the impact on the US economy is the inherent complexity of assessing the effects of a policy as sweeping as student loan forgiveness. The economic landscape is influenced by numerous factors, making it difficult to isolate the specific impact of one policy. It's crucial to consider various elements, including inflation, consumer spending, and fiscal policies, among others. One of the factors contributing to the economist's assessment is that the ruling does not change the fundamental financial situation of borrowers. Prior to the ruling, borrowers already carried the burden of the student debt, and they will continue to do so after the decision. This means that from an aggregate perspective, the overall household balance sheets remain largely unchanged. When considering the potential macro-level impact on the US economy, economists argue that the ruling is unlikely to have a significant consequences. While student loan forgiveness could have injected more disposable income into the economy, the absence of this relief does not lead to a sudden reduction in consumer spending. The overall impact on the aggregate consumer spending is expected to be minimal. The potential increase in the consumer spending. One of the potential impacts of the student loan forgiveness would have been an increase in the consumer spending. With debt relief, borrowers would have had more disposable income available to allocate towards other goods and services. Estimates indicate that consumers would have spent around 3 to 6% of their increased wealth or new or accelerated purchases. This surge in consumer spending could have stimulated various sectors of the economy, leading to increased demand for products and services. It would have provided a boost to businesses, potentially resulting in job creation and economic growth. While increased consumer spending can stimulate economic growth, it also carries the risk of inflationary pressures. If consumers have a substantial amount of additional income, such as up to $20,000 that could have been forgiven under the Biden administration's plan, they might be more inclined to spend it on various goods and services. This surge in demand could potentially drive up prices in the market. The ruling against student loan forgiveness removes the possibility of this additional consumer spending, which may help slow down consumer spending overall. This slowdown in spending aligns with the Federal Reserve's goal of controlling inflation and maintaining price stability. Timing of the spending pullback. The timing of the expected spending pullback resulting from the Supreme Court's ruling against the student loan forgiveness is crucial, given the broader economic landscape. Many economists have forecasted a mild recession on the horizon, expected to occur in the near future. Factors such as higher interest rates and tighter lending standards have contributed to these recessionary concerns. While the immediate impact of the ruling itself may not be significant, while combined with the other factors affecting the economy, it could add to the challenges faced by the borrowers and potentially contribute to a broader economic downturn. While the Supreme Court ruling may be disappointing for borrowers, economists believe that its impact on the broader U.S. economy will be minimal. However, with a potential mild recession on the horizon, the timing of this spending pullback is worth monitoring. That's all for today's video. Thank you for watching this video. If you found it informative, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel for more insightful content.